Another winning day last night, 2-0. We got the Rockies plus 145, dog of the day. Dallas Mavericks keep the points. Luka Doncic looking back to form. That puts us up 3.9 units on the night. Another winning day. It's 10 of the last 13. If you guys want to be a part of this run, you go to the website, massaez.com, or download the app. Use promo code DOG. You'll get 33% off there on the monthly package. Bring it down to $199. John, how we doing? Big weekend coming up. Nice NBA playoff slate and a whole lot of good pitching coming up this weekend in the MLB.
Yep. Staying red hot right now. NBA has turned around from that awful regular season that we had. Yep. NBA playoffs have been great. Catch another winner last night, as Ben said. Keep the points. As long as Luka was right, that was our only issue. It was only a one-unit bet. Just wasn't sure about Luka. He's been straight across the board. Points down, rebounds down, assists down, shooting percentage down, 3-point percentage down. He's playing on that sprained right knee. Looked much better yesterday. Mavs tie that series up. We got some crazy basketball. Cavs go in as a 13-point dog and destroy the Boston Celtics, who you guys know I've been touting as the best team in the NBA. Games like this happen in the second game 2 of the Miami series. Also, Boston then went down to Miami and absolutely destroyed them the 2 games there, and then killed them again in game 5 back in Boston. They can have a tough time doing.
I was going to say, you guys know I always talk about Boston in the playoffs, and they now, Joe Mazzulla and the Celtics team, the most double-digit favorite losses, outright losses in the playoffs. That's a lot of good teams, a lot of big double-digit favorites if you go back far on the deck.
Live by the 3, die by the 3. This is the motto here. The Celtics, they led the league, making 16.5 3-pointers during the regular season. I believe they were second to Oklahoma City. Who were they second to? They were second in 3-point percent during regular season. Down to 15.5, again, leading the postseason in threes made, again, right around 38.8%, and then they just lose the touch. So live by the 3, die by the 3. They died by it yesterday, and not only didn't they make their threes, you have a Cleveland Cavalier team that was hitting less than 9 threes a game at barely over 30% during the postseason. They shot the lights out of 3. This is gambling, guys. You can have an edge. You can have all things you want. Nobody knows how these games are going to get played out until they're actually played out. So big win for them yesterday. So 2 dogs take it. I did not see that one coming. Lean was to the Cavs after the bad beatdown in game 1. Just didn't think there was enough points there. Thought the Celtics had learned their lesson game 2 off that Celtic game. Obviously not. And that's why the number for game 3 is actually a little bit higher than it should be. My number's closer to 6.5 in that game. And that number came up 8. And that's because they expect them to do in game 3 what they did at Miami. Game 3 for Dallas, 3 points, maybe a little bit high. I'm okay seeing nobody in that one. I would have liked to take the hook. We'll wait to see where that one goes. Your thoughts on last night, Ben, and then we'll talk about today's NBA.
Yeah, as far as last night, I mean, coming into this series, had all the faith in Dallas. Obviously, that was held up on what we see from Luka Doncic, and obviously he's looking better now in that last game. We'll see how this comes up in game 3 back on the home floor. That's the big difference, though, first round to second round when you're battling with injuries, and that'll get into a little bit. We're talking about Knicks and Pacers. First round, because there's so many more series going on, there's a lot of 2-day breaks in between games, a lot more time for these guys to rest. Once we get into these conference semifinals, a lot of teams now just playing on 1-day rest, which makes a big difference battling these injuries. So we'll see how that helps or hurts these teams. And that takes me right into this first game of the slate, Knicks at Indiana. You don't have a team battling more injuries right now in the postseason than the New York Knicks. And it doesn't matter, apparently. I mean, they're 2-0 on this series. Brunson goes down in the first half. They still come back, get in that game. OG Anunoby goes down. They still hold on to the lead and win that game against the Pacers in game 2. As you guys know, we're on Pacers game 1 and game 2. We split there. Big price on this game with OG Anunoby ruled out tonight. Mitchell Robinson's been out. Julius Randle's been out for months. Bogdanovich, he's done for the playoffs. Very, very shorthanded Knicks team. I don't know if I can get the number this high. Spots all Indiana, all the injuries for the Knicks. Even still, don't know if I can get the number this high, but spots all Pacers, can't go against it.
Can't get the number this high. For my guys that are for Massa Edge members that watch the ratings, guys, throw the ratings out for this one in a 2-0 game.
Yep.
Indiana's coming in pissed. They feel like they've been robbed both games at MSG. Don't know if I can argue much with them. Now, I don't know if it's 78 missed calls that they're claiming, but they have actually put in an official complaint with the NBA and sent them video of 78 either missed or non-calls that went against them. And look, the officiating definitely the breaks have gone. Let's call it the breaks. Again, we ain't saying nobody's fixing games or nothing. And we got our guy. Yeah, they want New York. Of course, they want the New York big media. In the next round, Knicks Celtics is a bonanza where Indiana is Indiana. So get all of that, but yeah. So
especially when you have the Western Conference with a bunch of small markets, Minnesota, Denver, OKC. I mean, get open that sense.
All that's left is all small market teams. I mean, Dallas may be your biggest big market team if you want to call them that, but not a franchise, a storied franchise. Lakers, Celtics. These are your storied franchises. Anyway, get back to this game. So throw the numbers out. Pacers, a much better home team. I've got them rated 4 points better at home than on the road. They've been at home. Let me find my stats here for you guys. Pacers, as always, just when I'm looking for them, I can't find it. Have won the last 8 home games, 6-2 against the spread. They've met one time with the Knicks this year during the regular season in Indiana, beat them by 14 that time. They're coming for the juggler today. Halliburton showed up. It looks like he's put those back spasms behind him. He had his best game of the playoffs, 34 points, 6 points, 9 boards. The problem last game, Siakam and Turner, who had been the 2 top scorers in the preseason, they came with a no-show. What they combined for 10 for 29 and 20 points, and that just can't go. Now, you're going to be without an Anunoby, and you're already without Mitchell Robinson. So those are going to be 2 of the key guys that are going to cover the 2 bigs. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and that was part of that surprise in game 2. Shout out Achua off the bench for the Knicks getting some more minutes. What he did defensively against those 2 guys in his time on the court was huge. And then obviously Josh Hart. I mean, how can we talk about this game and not talk about Josh Hart? 48 minutes, just getting it done everywhere.
48 minutes every game. This guy he's played every second of the second half. I don't know how many straight. This guy's 6'4", pulling down 12.8 boards per game in the postseason.
Yeah.
The Villanova 3. What they're doing, Villanova's winning the NBA championship right now. That's how it would look. But look, Brunson takes a fall in the first, gets up, guts it out, scores 24 of his 29 points in the second half.
Yep.
How's that foot feeling today? You're already going to be without OG. Your 3 guys, Randall, Robinson, and Bogdanovich already out. This was a short-handed team to start with. What was it? 92-13. They've outscored them. 92-15. The Indy bench has outscored the Knicks bench in the first 2 games, and now your bench is even thinner. Man, the Knicks are up against it. This got blowout written all over it, but that's why where my number should be with OG, not even close. It's Indy or nobody for me. Let's see if Brunson even plays. They're listing him as questionable now.
Yeah, we'll say probably the most surprising thing about that game. You tell me Brunson misses, almost a whole entire half. The game flew over. I mean, just flying over. I know it's how Indiana plays, and we were on some of those overs earlier in the season, but man, playoff time, you get a game over 250. That's rare. So
this is how Indiana plays.
Yeah.
And this is to me why I liked Indiana. Knicks are playing Indiana ball. The Knicks during a regular season, second toughest team to score on, next to the Timberwolves. In
I
the
mean, they were
playoffs,
playing games with the 76ers 76-80. I mean, Indy had first halves that were 76-80.
well, more of those were in the regular season, obviously,
Right.
and then as the playoffs moved on, each game with Philly climbed the ladder a little bit. But now this is a different Knick team. They're 13th in the postseason, giving up a $113. So the Pacers have them playing their type of ball.
100%.
Being as shorthanded as they are, the minutes that the Knicks have logged already, this could just be the takeoff game, the letdown game, the game the Pacers put it together, and I'm looking for a double-digit blowout in this one. Again, we'll wait to see what the word is on Brunson. OG already ruled out.
Yeah, so no official bets on that game yet. If you guys want anything added, then make sure you sign up on the app. Use that promo code DOG. And we got another game going on tonight. We do have a bet in this game 3, Denver at Minnesota. First off, Jamal Murray not getting suspended. Just absolutely astonishing. What he's shooting that game, 3 for 18. If he had his shot going better that night, he would have hit the ref with the heat pack. He would have been a little bit more on target, and he would have been suspended 100%. So Denver catches a massive break. It's almost like, the NBA is giving them a bone to keep this series extended, keeping some life to it. Do they capitalize? Do they show up with a better game? Shout out to Minnesota. Game 2, no Gobert, no problem. Hold Denver Nuggets to a season low 80 points without the defensive player of the year, which, by the way, makes that a whole bit more questionable in the first place. But yeah, Minnesota's done the first 2 games, but Anthony Edwards has done phenomenal. The thing is, this is the reigning champs, Denver Nuggets, and they have a lot of room to improve, a lot of areas. First off, the number 2 and Jamal Murray's been horrendous. What they get out of the role players and Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter, which was so massive in the Lakers series, haven't seen that as much. But obviously, everyone knows what happens when you go down 0-3. Season on the line tonight for the Nuggets. Got to be a spot for them, John.
It's all it is. It's a super must game, and that's why we took plus 4.5. As soon as I found out that Jamal Murray would not be suspended. Now, look, they're listing him questionable today. As long as he's not suspended, Jamal Murray's playing. He's banged up. He'll play through it. Yep. KCP and Reggie Jackson, they're both legitimate questionables. Look, with all that said and done, this is Joker, Jamal Murray, Porter, Gordon. They've got to get it done. These are the reigning champs. They were embarrassed. They were down at halftime. It was the biggest halftime deficit they've ever had in the playoffs in their last game. Excuse me. They'll come with a game. Look, Timberwolves are playing phenomenal. Timberwolves playing phenomenal basketball. The more we're looking at the way they're playing Denver, we're like, well, hey, maybe Phoenix isn't that bad, and Minnesota's just that good. 4 of the 6 games they've played, playoff games they've played, held teams under 100. Minis, all of that. 4.5, I just think, look, they may still take this game, but I think Denver shows up after that home. This is home playoff revenge, and it was an embarrassment too. This is the reigning champs. I got to say they come with a game. Jokic fresh off getting the MVP, which we told you that this guy's the MVP for the last 4 years. Forget about the one that Embiid robbed last year just because they wanted somebody else beside Jokic to win one. They show up. They get the W tonight. If not, I think they still keep it within the 4.5.
Those are the 2 NBA games we have going on tonight. 1 bet on those so far, and we got a loaded MLB slate. We'll try to get through this one as quick as possible for you guys.
1 game apiece, Ben, so we'll fly through MLB.
Yep, 1 game, John. I know you were looking at going on this Astros-Detroit game, potentially if this number got up any higher, and Sharps betting all Houston. I'll let you start with this one.
Yeah, you got Houston looked horrible against the Yankees, except for that last game. How about that home run that kid hit yesterday, a moonshot for the Astros? So him and Astros get a little things going. But Valdez hit his last time out. Mize was hit also. Just this is a different Houston team. Got a different feel about them. Detroit's coming home after a rough road trip, but they had off yesterday. Mr. Valdez, we used to call him Mr. Quality Start a couple of years ago. Only 1 quality start so far this year. He has not been the same. They're a little overvalued. This number's jumped up to 145. To me, it's home dog or nobody. Not a bet yet. We'll wait to see lineups. Canna's missed the last couple of games for Detroit. He'll probably miss again today. So we'll see where the line goes, but Detroit or nobody.
Then we got the Cubs at Pittsburgh. We do have a bet on the Cubbies in this game. Pretty good pitching matchup. Assad versus Jones, couple of younger guys. Jones, rookie, he has just been absolutely on fire. Last start, 1 hit, 7 shutout innings. Granted, it's against the Colorado Rockies. And Assad hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in any of his 7 starts. He's been solid, coming off 6 shutout innings against the Brewers. This just comes down to you're getting dog money here with one of the worst home teams in the MLB. Pirates just can't score at home. They are last in runs per game at home, 2.9. On this homestand, just 2.7 runs per game. And that's against the Angels and the Rockies, your teams who are bottom in the league in ERA, a couple of your worst teams in each respective division. You got a big plus money here. Pitching edge, I'll give it to Jones, but it's not too much. And obviously the lineup, the team, everything else has to go to Chicago here. Swanson is questionable, but price on this game too much here for what the Pirates are doing at home, John.
Yeah, let me just add that he's an ace. I love Jones, but Assad is solid. And Cubbies have had their way with this series. They won 10 of 13 last year, winning 6 of 7 at Pitt. Pitt can hit. So give me the Cubbies, team that'll be challenging for first place this year over Pittsburgh, who started hot and is ice cold now. Next game we're looking at is the Yankees at Tampa Bay. We've talked about Tampa Bay, not the same team. Well, they had a nice little homestand there last game, but again, beating some downtrodden teams, taking 2 out of 3. And when you could have swept the White Sox, you let that one slip away. The lean is to Tampa Bay. The sharps are already on it. The only thing that kept me off, you got Bradley coming back. He's going to make his first start of the year. This kid's got 1 quality start all year last year. Going to be tough to go up against the Yankees. But when you look at the when you see that Yankees Rays, and you see the Rays as a home dog, always going to have interest there. We talk about this. There's a trend going on, and the sharps or a group of sharps. Remember, when we talk about sharps, there's different groups out there. We've got one group out there betting against the teams that play and travel again, playing against the team that's sitting at home. We got a ton of those games today, and one of those games is the Yankees. They played at Yankee Stadium. Got to make the travel down to South Florida, and Tampa Bay was off. So the line has moved to Tampa Bay. It was Tampa Bay or nothing at the original number, what it was on the overnight. I think the number now is a fair number. Schmidt, he's a solid pitcher, but he's another guy. He has not gone 6 innings yet this year. Looks like Yankees bats are starting to heat up. When I say Yankees bat, it's Judge, 3 homers in the last 4 games. Fair number. Tampa Bay or nobody at the original number, but I stayed off of not trusting Bradley on his first major league start this year.
Then we got D-backs at Baltimore. Both teams playing good ball right now. Orioles 5-1, their last 6. D-backs, they come in sweeping the ice cold Reds. Sorry, I was gonna say red hot Reds. The ice cold Reds, who just can't get a win right now. So D-backs have won 4 straight. O's 5-1, their last 6. Pitching edge. How about Irvin? What he's been doing? 3 straight quality starts, 20 shutout innings. Granted, it is against some of your inferior offenses in baseball, the Reds, the A's, and the Royals. But nonetheless, still getting it done. We'll see if he can keep that up here against the D-backs. Fat, he was roughed up his last time out by San Diego. We'll see if he bounces back. This line, where it opened up, no interest. But as John and I were talking earlier, I mean, they just keep betting Arizona in this game. It's getting awfully cheap here for the best team in the American League.
For the best team in the American League, absolutely. And Irvin really pitching much like he did back in his Oakland A's days. So it's Baltimore, nobody for me. We'll see where that line goes. Look, somebody's getting lineups really, really early. And we're seeing a lot of those lines move. So we'll check, see if any of the Orioles are getting a day off. You wouldn't think so. They had the off day yesterday, but we'll keep an eye on that. Orioles or nobody. Twins at Toronto. We got a little playoff revenge from last year. Twins got them both games. Just Toronto just has not been right this year. Kikuchi, one of the bright spots. Outside of getting banged around a couple of starts ago by the Dodgers, he's got 4 of his last 5 are quality starts, pitching a ball. Ryan, 5 of his last 6 starts, quality starts. But just he's that gets to the 6 innings, 3 runs. Not phenomenal. Good. Absolutely good, but just not phenomenal. So you got a little playoff revenge. You got Minnesota played yesterday in travel. Toronto's been off. all that said and done, the lean is to Toronto. But like a bunch of games today, lean that way, just not enough to really get a full edge, what I call a full edge on the game. So it's Toronto and nobody, but right now that's not I'm not on it.
Then we got Nationals at Boston. If it wasn't for what we have going on in this Phillies game today, this would be the pitching mismatch of the day. Corbin versus Houck. Corbin's been as bad as anyone on the road this season. 0-2, 8.85 ERA in 4 starts. Has the worst whip in baseball. You got Houck coming in, 6 of his 7 starts, quality starts. Last time out, not too good. It was against a red-hot Twins team. Prior to that, though, 3 runs and 21 in 2/3. And as far as this Nats team, you guys know we bet them a lot, especially on the road. Always value with them above 500 road team. You get them dog prices a lot. And that's the lean to this game. And it's just a price play. I mean, I just told you the statistics on these two pitchers. Statistically, these pitchers couldn't be more off. But even with that, I mean, you have the two teams here, both playing 500 ball this year. Red Sox below 500 at home. Nats above 500 on the road. Just can't be this big of a favorite, even with the pitching mismatch.
Same scenario, that just waiting to pull the trigger on that one. We'll see what the lineups are. But again, has to be Nats or nobody. Love the Nats. They always get it done for us. Got it done for us at a +191 is a +91 dog. Yep. Tuesday against the best team, the Baltimore Orioles, and Orioles had owned them going into that matchup, winning 7 straight. Braves at Mets, they met earlier in the year. Mets took 2 of 3 at Atlanta when Atlanta was playing great. It's what started getting the Mets a little hot. They had a little hot road trip. Would have been all over the Mets this morning. The Sharps hit it. Just don't trust Quintana. Got racked his last time out. 8 runs off 10 hits in 2 2/3 innings at Tampa. Don't know why they leave these guys in for a day like that to absolutely get destroyed. Morton, real good his last few times out. 3 straight quality starts, 4 runs in 19 innings. Atlanta turned it around a little bit with the Red Sox, taking 2 from the Red Sox the other day. No explosion, didn't explode, but that's why they're the play here would have been this short of nothing. I would need it a little bit higher to want to back Quintana in this one. It didn't get there, and they took this one. So it's Mets or nobody if the line goes higher.
Then we have the biggest pitching mismatch of the day. And this game just, I mean, it's just a chalk lay. And it's Phillies versus Marlins. I couldn't tell anyone to want to bet the dog here. Suarez has been as good as anybody in the MLB. They have won all 7 of his starts. The last 6, all quality starts. Rogers for Miami, they lost all 7 of his starts. And in the last was annihilated, give up 8 runs in 2 1/3 against the Oakland A's in Oakland, a pitcher-friendly ballpark. So 2 pitchers, completely opposite directions. You got 2 teams, completely opposite directions. Phillies, absolutely red hot. What is it now? 7-1, their last 8. You have this Phillies team who's NL best, 11-5 on the road. Marlins, MLB worst, 5-15 at home. Hot team, hot pitcher, great on the road. Bad team, cold pitcher, bad at home. Do with that as you will. Big price there for a damn good reason in that game.
It is, and here's one of the games that you rarely see the favorite get all the money on the overnight, but Philly went from a -160 up to actually they're at 180 now, but they went even higher. So there's been a little buyback money for the Marlins. I'm just not interested in them at all. Next game on the schedule is Guardians at White Sox, and don't look down, but the White Sox are winning. So they're winning a few ball games here. Cleveland, me and Ben just talked about this. They lost a big piece when they lost Quan. Quan's going to miss some time. He's on the IL. When he left, he was the major league leading hits leader. This guy gives it to you in the field. He's your leadoff batter. And you're going to see, look, Cleveland last year, one of your lower scoring teams. So for them to be getting so many runs early in the year, that's not who they are to start with. And losing Quan, that's going to come back to the pack. Carrasco, he's terrible. He had a quality start his last time out against a terrible Angel team. Prior to that, he'd been destroyed. 13 runs in 9 innings in 2 starts before that. Crochet better his last time out. Actually better his last 2 starts. He started the year, couple of good starts, got crushed, 3 starts right in the middle, now back to being a little better. And as I said, White Sox, a little bit better, winning some games. But again, only 3 runs last night. All that being said and done, Cleveland still a better team on the road than the White Sox are at home. I'm still around that minus 110 number where Cleveland is right now, so I think it's a fair number. But White Sox, at least putting up a little fight. They were an absolute doormat, just getting blown out every game. Looks like they've put something together.
We got the Cardinals at the Brewers. Cardinals just a pathetic team right now. Even with the ace on the mound yesterday, couldn't get it done. He got cracked early, and that was all she wrote. Brewers now 9-1 last 10 meetings. Two complete opposite pitchers today. Lance Lynn, 13-year vet, versus the Rook, making his MLB debut in Gasser for Milwaukee. Gasser, really not impressive numbers in the minors. He's technically their number 2 listed prospect. Might be because he's one of their only lefty prospects. So it's we'll see what they get out of him. This feels a bit more like an experiment. You get some guys who are in the minors lighting it up. They have to get called up. Shout out Paul Skeens, by the way, who's making his debut for the Pirates tomorrow. That should be exciting. But yeah, as far as this game, it can't pay me to bet the Cardinals right now. Just not playing good ball. It doesn't really matter what the pitching matchup is. They can't hit. They've lost 5 in a row. Brewers own this matchup. No interest in this game for me at all.
We thought St. Louis was going to challenge that Central Division. Wow. When they went out, got themselves some pitchers. Sonny Gray up until yesterday was great. Gibson been giving them some good pitching. We'll see what Lynn can do. Lynn has been serviceable this year. Goldie has just gone from one of the better hitters in Major League to an automatic out at this point, batting under 200. But anyway, next game is Rangers at Rockies. And, hey, I'm going to come right back with the Rockies today. Small bet, small one-unit bet. Tough to go against Texas right now. The only game they fucking lost was the game we had in their first game of a doubleheader against at Oakland a couple of days ago, Wednesday. But Gray's been pitching great. If this game was being played anywhere else, I wouldn't touch this game. But this is Coors Field. Anything happens in Coors. And Gomber's been really good for the Rockies. Very rarely do you see a Colorado pitcher with an ERA that starts with a 3, and that's what he's working, a 3.79 ERA and 3.68 in 4 starts in Coors. Rockies went crazy in the second inning, gave us a laugher yesterday. Yep. And so they put some runs on the board. They'll have pretty much one of them, him and Quantrill, that really their only major league quality pitches. He'll be on the mound. Big price. It's a one-unit bet. It's worth to take at plus 165. You got Texas now coming into their 3rd city, and this will be their 8th game in 8 days. Just worth a little shot. One other note, Gomber the lefty and Corey Seager batting 170 versus left-handed pitching.
That's rough. Yeah, we'll see if we can get another one with Colorado. We got KC at the Angels next.
Let me jump in 1 second, Ben. This game is Indiana Pacers are flying. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get a note that Jalen Brunson is out. I'm looking at all 7.5 and some even 7.5 minus 115.
We'll see if that game continues to increase. We'll see if we get any info for you guys while we're still on board here. We got Royals and Angels next. Marsh versus Canning in this one. Kansas City, a lot worse on the road last year. They're still slightly worse this year, but playing 500 ball on the road after last night's win. Angels, AL worst, 4-12 at home this season. No interest in the home dog, and I would even argue this line's a bit short. If Marsh wasn't coming off an IL stint, this number would be a bit steeper. That's the only hesitancy we have here. Granted, Canning is coming off a better start, but it was against Cleveland, who's been ice cold as of late, and in his 2 prior starts, 7 runs in 10 innings. Angels, worst team ERA in the MLB at home this season, worst American League home record. Couldn't pay me to bet on the Angels in this one. A little bit of action going that way. No interest in it, KC or nobody.
Yeah, I got the next one, huh? Dodgers, Padres. You just can't buck them. Right now, the Dodgers are showing they're the best team. We talked about it before the season started. I told you guys I don't really do futures. But 104.5 seemed awfully low for a team that has got three potential Hall of Famers in the top of their order. Yeah. And that's what they're doing. Three of the top 4 batters are within the top 5 of hitting. This team is on fire. They've won 7 straight, 6.4 runs per game. Glass now pitching. He's just fit the bill for just what they needed. 3 straight quality starts, 3.0, 1.29 ERA, 29.4 K walk ratio going against San Diego, who's been playing better, but with King on the mound, this is a huge number as a road favorite. But you know what? Right now, I can't take San Diego just because this team is red hot. Glass now pitching great. Not going to say LA or nothing. Just don't want to get involved in Buck. You don't want to get away and get in front of a fucking train. You don't want to be on the tracks. And Dodgers is a train right now.
Yeah, there'll be times to go against the Dodgers this year. You guys know we've had a lot of those bets, had a lot of winning tickets against them. This is not one of those times, and we'll see what they keep ripping off wins. We got A's at Seattle next. This Oakland team split that doubleheader with Texas. They've dropped 4 or 5 despite scoring over 6 again. They put up 11 the other night. In the back end of that doubleheader, you have this Seattle team who was playing good ball. Then they go to red hot Minnesota, who I was interested to see if Minnesota could keep this up. They beat up on the Angels and the White Sox. They continued it against Seattle and the Red Sox, losing just 1 game in each of those series. And the Seattle team, the bash is non-existent right now. Have been playing good ball at home. Seattle's been all about the pitching. They got Wu going today. Rookie year last year was decent. And the AAA this season, he's been a stud. 17 Ks, no walks, 11 and third shutout ball in 3 starts. And against the A's last year, he was a stud as well. 11 shutout innings and a pair of wins. But Blackburn, he's been just as good as anybody you could ask for. Very consistent. He has had some differences on the road, but it's really one road start. Inflate that a little bit. They're 6-1 in his 7 starts, and that's what it means to me at the end of the day. They keep getting it done. Blackburn on the bump. Solid price here would be Oakland or nobody in this one. Want a bit more on that number.
And the last game of the day, guys, Reds at San Francisco. Two teams that were expected to challenge for wild card spots, and they aren't. Reds last year, man, you always felt like we bet the Reds a lot last year. Always felt like you were in the game. They can't hit this year. They've lost 8 straight now, scoring 2.1 runs per game, batting 175 over that span. They're last in hitting 211 for the year. Just 2-7 their last 9 on the road. Believe me, I wanted to jump in. The shops have already made a little bet on Cincy today. Weber's had 2 bad starts. Those were both on the road. He's a different pitcher at home. I don't favor San Fran. I still lean to the Reds, but I can't bet a team that just can't score. And now you're going to go into a pitcher's ballpark against a good pitcher that pitches there. I can't pull the trigger on Cincy.
Yeah, a couple of pitchers going well there. Could be an underplay as well. 2 teams not hitting, and it is a low total on that game. Guys, that's what we have for the Friday slate. We gave you guys some of our free bets, both in MLB and the NBA. We gave you the promo code DOG, D-O-G. If you guys want to get the $100 off on the monthly package, go sign up on the website or the app to get that. Things have been hot 10 of the last 13 days, John. I don't know if you got anything else here, but let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, big, busy weekend. We're going to get to it right now. We're going to go over to Instagram. Again, you guys will, by the time this is up, you can't meet us there, but we're on Instagram. We'll start going on Instagram more and more during the week. So check us out. Follow us on Instagram. We'll do some lives over there. If you want us here more, you know what to do.
Yep, guys, like, comment, subscribe below, and let's make some money.
Let's make some money.